Welcome back to the channel. We are doing CX Hasbro. Finally, it's about time, you guys. We have Courage Drawn / 660 Vortex. I hope you guys are ready because I am. So let's get back to the back of the box here real quick. So we have the parts laid out. We have the Courage blade that comes in 3 pieces, the lock trip, the blade, and the assist blade. Then we go over, we have a new ratchet, which is 660, and a new bit, which is Vortex, which is essentially a right spinning cyclone. Other than that, you guys, it's now a 5-piece system, which is cool, kind of crazy. Reminds me a lot of Beyblade Burst days, especially moving into GT and moving forward. It definitely is starting to resemble that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the lock chip reminds me of basically Metal Fight. This is looking more like mid Beyblade Burst. Like I said, GT and so on. All right, you guys, let's get it unboxed and then go from there. All right, so let's go over these parts again real quick. We have the lock chip, which is like a face bolt or a lock chip from Beyblade Burst. Does the same thing, locks the whole entire Beyblade into place using the chip. Very nice. It went back to that front-facing sword drown motif. Very nice. Let's flip it over. There is no QR code right here, so maybe the QR code will be on the blade. So here is our blade, which is Brave. Very nice. It's a 3-blade design. Definitely reminds me of Slash Valkyrie or Sword Valkyrie. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Let's flip it over. Still no QR code. And we now have the assist blade, which is Slash. Definitely reminds me of the chassis from Sword Valkyrie. And as you can see, our QR code will be on the assist blade. Very nice. Very nice. All right, and there it is. Go ahead and get that and scan that into the app. All right, we have the new 660 6-sided ratchet. Some of the blades go up, some of the blades go down. Actually, I would say, yeah, some of them slightly go up. They're more level. Definitely is cool looking. Kind of reminds me of Snowflake. And then the Vortex bit, which is honestly a right spinning cyclone. We saw this with Metal Fight with Pegasus and El Drago. So this is very cool to see that happening again. All right, so let's lock this bad boy into place. So how you do this is you'll take your assist blade first, and you'll have to line that up with there's a certain way this will line up, and then you line it up. And real quickly, so with Sword or Slash Valkyrie, however you want to orientate that name, the chassis could line up 2 ways. You could have it line up like this, or let's see, can it line up and orientate another way? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it just orientates. Yeah, it only orientates one direction. And for Slash Valkyrie, this was the more defense option with the blades kind of blocking this angle right here. So then that way you could fend off lower attacks. So yeah, this is the more defensive side for Slash Valkyrie. You take everything together and you have to use your bit to lock everything in place. So because this is a right spin, you take it, you very delicately twist it right, and there you go, we have it locked into place. All right, so I'm not gonna do a weigh test as every individual part. We'll do a weigh test as the completed blade and then the other parts. And because this is a starter, we get a white proto launcher and a ripcord. Plus, for this video, I got a new sword drawn, so we're gonna see the weight difference. All right, we got that new sword drawn unboxed. So we have the new CX blade and the new sword drawn. I just figured because as the blades get used, they get more and more damaged, shave off little bits of metal. So in that way we can get a full weight comparison. Plus it's always nice to have a backup and reserve. So let's get that scale out and get going. All right, we got the scale out, zeroed, ready to go. So first things first, let's do the layers. Here's Sword Dran. A brand new Sword Dran weighing in at 35.2 grams. Not too bad at all. And then we have Brave Dran Brave, 37.7 grams. This is a monster, you guys. I'm just curious real quick. I didn't sit, now I'm not gonna do the plate, the parts as individual parts, but real quickly, the Sword Dran 35.2. Now just the Brave Blade, 31.2 grams. Okay, so the whole entire combo as a whole is probably going to be a little beefy. We're probably going to be looking at like 30, between 35 and 36 grams. All right, now then we have the 360. We have 6.3 grams. The 660, 6.5 grams. So we're looking about like a couple grams, a little bit over a couple grams higher. Well, a little bit higher in weight. 2.2 for the vortex bit. Our flat bit, I think, is only like 2 grams. Nope, 2.2 as well. So let's put these blades together. Well, the bays together, get them weighed. It's nice to see a brand new Sword Dran. Look at that. That's how you know it's brand new, no defects. We're gonna keep it that way. All right, Sword Dran coming in at 43.7 grams. Now then, 43.7, can Dran Brave beat that? 46.1 grams, very nice. All right, you guys. One thing I wanted to talk about, and I did mention that briefly, is that this bay is a truly almost a one-to-one resemblance of our boy slash Valkyrie. I mean, look at this. This is insane. Like, detail to detail, really looks like just spits slash Valkyrie. Like, that is insane. That is really insane. And what I was talking about earlier with the chassis blade, so this is the more aggressive orientation for the chassis blade for slash Valkyrie for all of you guys who weren't around for the burst era and then just got into X. So you could flip the chassis, and because it's rubber, you can orientate it in the middle of the two blades, and basically that'll help ward off lower incoming attacks or just attacks in general, to keep you from bursting or to keep you spinning longer. So yeah, this is more of a kind of like a mid-ranged option for this. And it definitely resembles this orientation of Sword Valkyrie a lot. Just very cool to see this kind of blade, this blade right here in this format. All right, guys, let's get that stadium and we will get ready to go. We have the blades selected. So within the last few videos, I have completed my deck set. This is what I would use if I were going to a tournament. Not Wizard Rod, well, Wand Wizard. I am not a Wand Wizard person, but we are going to use this in this video to see if Brave Dran can beat out the 360 ball Wizard Wand. My deck set, however, would consist of these 3 blades and their combos. Keel Shark 260 low flat, Dagger Dran 960 tapered, and Knife Shinobi. I put the little sticker there from the Shinobi knife video game set. 360 level. 3, 2, 1. All right, and then we'll do more of an aggressive launch. 3, 2, 1. All right, starting things off, Wand Wizard versus Dran Brave. 3, 2, 1. And we do get a burst. 2. And a stamina finish. 3. We do get a bit release. And Wizard 1 gets a second point on bit release. Look at this. On 4, 2 to 2. And now we're moving on to Drawn Dagger 960 taper. And we get an immediate loss. Shark 260 low flat. Stamina finish. 2. Stamina finish. 3. 4. Moving on to Shinobi Knife, 360 level. Spin finish. 2. 3. Spin finish. On 4, tied up 2 to 2. 3 to 2. Round 4. Alright everybody, to wrap this video up, what are my thoughts on Drawn Brave? Honestly, pick one up for yourself. A lot of people are criticizing CX for its height, but honestly, we got 3 wins. It beat Wand Wizard 960 ball, which is crazy. Just slapped it. And then 2 of my other customs for my own deck got beat. Granted, Dagger Dran 960 taper is a little old, but it can still hold its own. But yeah, 2 of my other customs got beat. And I would definitely recommend picking this up. If you don't use it as the full combo, there's good parts that can be utilized in here. I do see a lot of potential for the 3-blade system. Yeah, maybe use a lower ratchet or a more lower bit to help things along, and you might see a lot more progression with it. But other than that, you definitely should go pick this blade up just because it's got a lot of potential with it. Other than that, you guys, it was really nice to see this Slash Valkyrie, Sword Valkyrie shape come back to Beyblade. This was just such a nice bay when it came out, and it's just nice to see this again in Brave Drawn. So with that, yeah, definitely pick one up for yourself, have fun with it, and as always, please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. With that, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Have a great day, everyone.